welcome to Movies, Films, and Flicks. I am Mark Hoffmeyer, and joining me is a man who is currently drinking a cup of coffee and looking for a cat. It's Norbert Morvan.
Jonesy, where are you? Jonesy. God damn it, Jonesy.
I gotta tell you something, Norbert. I was talking to my wife Megan the other day, and we were watching some show where I think it was like Taken. We were just having a conversation. I was like, if my cats ever got kidnapped by terrorists, I would go on a throat chopping mission across the world to save them. So when people make comments about Ripley, played by Sigourney Weaver, rescuing the cat and making fun of it, I'm like, you better watch out, man.
Dude, I showed my students Alien and Aliens about a week ago for the first time, and I was appalled at the number of them that said, just leave the cat and run to the escape pod. It's appalling, man. You know, people who don't have pets, you know, people who don't have things like empathy and emotions and a soul. You know, you can't just leave your cat to be murdered by an 8-foot tall creature with acid for blood who's generally unpleasant. That's not nice.
All right, you know on Monty Python's The Holy Grail, right? When, John Cleese's character runs to the castle and just starts wiping out people in the castle until he gets up to the balcony. If my cats were in that balcony, I would do the same thing.
This is what you have to do, man. You just cleave a swath of destruction until you achieve your goal, man, which is the protection of your cat. You know, people, how can you just abandon your pet, man? Now, you know what? Honestly, I draw the line at fish, though, because fish are stupid.
Yeah, I mean, what are you gonna do with fish? Like, so I had a fish tank and I loved it, but you can't just pack up fish and put them in your truck.
No, not at all. Not at all. And especially if you're going to end up in an escape pod and then you got to go into the hypersleep chamber for 57 years, that fish is going to be frozen solid.
I'd chance it because she could freeze her. She froze herself. Jeez Louise. With the cat. So you could try that with the fish.
Well, the thing is, the fish needs water to survive, right? So what is recycling that water? You know what I mean? If you put it in the stereotypical little plastic bag that you get when you go to Petland and you buy the goldfish 7 for $10, you know, that thing's going to be dead, man. That water is eventually going to expire. It's going to become more carbon dioxide than oxygen, man.
It's space
water.
Fish is
over. Well, I mean, you know, in space, no one can hear you drown.
It's Jennifer Aniston's Smart Water 100 years later.
I mean, you know, are we buying water from Goop? What's going on?
I love the water from Goop. I just bought a case, and they come in 1-foot tall glass bottles that have been, and it's $12. No, I'm joking. So I gotta say something. So a lot of people in this movie, they talk about, you know, it's one of the most influential horror films, action films ever made. They love to talk about Ripley. They love to talk about Giger's production design. And there's a charming documentary on YouTube called Giger's Alien. It's 30 minutes long, and it's narrated by him. And it is charming. I don't want to start off with that, Norbert. I want to first tell you that I love that they started off with the year 2122 because it is so easy to remember.
2122, that's
so,
great.
Yeah, you know, sometimes there's years like 2036, and you're like, I'm not going to remember that.
No.
It's like 2122.
2122, there's kind of an onomatopoeia going on there.
22 comes after 21. Easy. Sold.
Exactly.
Like, I'm in. So as soon as you hear that, you're like, that works out well. Like, more movies need to do that. They need to be like.
Well, 2012. Yeah. 2012 off the tongue.
Yeah, 2012.
And then there was always 2010, the year we made contact. That was great.
2021 is coming up. Oh.
What you got?
2021 is coming up.
2021 is coming up, man. I marked by myself, Transformers the movie came out 86, and the announcer's like, in the year 2005, the Autobots have lost the battle for their home, Cybertron. I was like, oh, it's 2005 now. Woo, smoke it up.
I think 1999 is good, and I think that's why I love Deep Blue Sea so much.
Right.
It's so easy. 1999.
It's kind of shaped like a shark fin if you really think about it.
Yeah.
Deep blue.
And if you flip over the nines, you have 1666.
Okay, and now we're talking about the mark of the beast. He was born of Jacob. You were born of Jacob. The mark of the beast. No, the beast has no friends.
Can I ask you a question? I have coffee in my nose. I love in this movie how everyone's drinking coffee because it just reminds me of my life, and it makes these space truckers much more likable.
Dude, the first Alien movie is not about astronauts. It's not about, just exploring new worlds in a 5-year mission. It's about 7 truck drivers on a milk run going from point A to point B. And then they end up just matched up against the most lethal creature in the history of motion picture.
And they're drinking coffee while battling it.
Constantly. Because, that's what you do, man. They don't have the amphetamines that usual truck drivers have. It's just coffee, you know?
You don't have night or day. So you're just stuck in this oppressive ship. You're kind of bored. I love coffee, man. I would just be that would be my gimmick on the ship. I'm like, oh, Mark's drinking coffee again.
Again,
Where's Mark? He's probably hiding in a corner drinking coffee. Why is he hiding in a corner? He doesn't have to.
He's got to drink all of that coffee to keep his wits about him so he can always talk about the bonus situation. Because we got to talk about the bonus situation, man.
These wages, man.
Yeah. We got to talk about the bonus situation. That's why I need my coffee, man.
And listen, Norbert, I know that you want your bonus for the Total Recall episode. That's been huge. That's been really doing great for us. I'll get there. I'll get there for you.
Look. I'll be happy to do more of these podcasts with you. If we could just talk about the bonus situation. Right.
Listen, it's in your contract.
Right. Your staff always says right.
Right. Oh my gosh, Harry Dean Stanton. And so I listened to about 4 hours worth of documentaries for this, just driving into work. And here, Stanton, when he met Ridley Scott, he just kind of said, "Yeah, I don't like horror movies. I don't like these pictures." But then he somehow got the movie.
Yeah, and my favorite thing about Harry Dean Stanton is that he's one of those people who has just always looked like he was 56 his entire life. You got him. You got Edward James Olmos.
Yeah.
That's just that skin, man.
Rob Lowe. To a similar extent. No, he hasn't always looked old. He's always looked young.
The number one guy that's like that is not Lance Henriksen. Oh my God.
Oh gosh, he still looks like Lance Henriksen from 10 years ago. Lance Henriksen from 1994's No Escape. Lance Henriksen.
Exactly. And or the underrated Lance Henriksen vehicle Pumpkinhead.
Or the 3 Yeti movies that he appeared in for some reason.
I'm sorry, 3?
3. He's been in 3 Yeti pictures.
Sister Mary Frances. Wow, I gotta look that up.
Can I ask you a question? The movie No Escape.
Please.
Is the only good. So I said, can I ask you a question? I immediately jumped into that. Should I have? When you say, can I ask you a question? Do you need to wait for a response, or can you jump into it?
Well, the irony being, can I ask you a question is a question already. So you've already asked me a question, actually.
So can I ask you one question and then another question without getting the answer to the first question is what I should have said.
Now, once you ask me those 2 questions, you've asked me already more than one question. So now we have gone, into the 7th circle of hell together.
Yeah, we're on the event horizon.
Illuminati me tutatis.
That scene at the end of Event Horizon when they're pulling the fuel cells, and then you watch Alien again, and you're like, "Oh man, Anderson!" I love that movie. I think it's highly underrated. But the thing I like about Anderson on the commentary for Event Horizon, he admits to wholesale ripping off Alien in 2001. Like he's just like, "Yeah, that's my 2001 shot. That's my Alien shot."
Completely, man.
If there's no, I didn't mean to. He's like, yeah, man, I love Alien, so I put this in there to be like a homage to it.
Not at all. You got to risk Anderson for just being an unapologetic hack, but he's at least competent. The only difference between him and Uwe Boll is that he decided at some point, hey, okay, I'm going to draw the line here. You know what I'm saying?
The thing about Paul Anderson is that he also produces his movies, and so his movies never have big budgets. So look at the budgets of Resident Evil. Look at the budgets of a lot of his films, and he has a big international market. So his movies are almost always profitable. They finish on time and on budget. So actors love working with him because you just show up and he's ready. Like, so people, that I kind of like that about him because after working on so many sets where I just stood around drinking coffee waiting, it'd be nice to work on a movie set with a guy who gets stuff done on time.
Well, now you say that, but the making of Aliens, the
brother.
UK people, Ridley Scott, Cameron was just not about, these extended tea breaks and just all the lollygagging and it's 5:00. We're done for the day. Cameron's like, look, man, I came up under Roger Corman. I get movies done.
Yeah. I don't sleep. When I'm making a movie, I don't sleep.
That's right. By the way, did I mention I designed the Alien Queen and the friggin' power loader? You guys get your ass out there. Let's make this movie. And they're like, spot of tea, brother. Earl Grey, hot. And he's like, look, I don't do this in California. You guys get and yeah. So I don't know, man. I don't think you're ready for a taskmaster like James Cameron to be directing you, brother.
Actually,
are you ready for that?
I would work with James Cameron, and this is why. Because every shot that you're in, he's with you. When you're in the tanks underwater, he's scuba diving with you. When you are hanging above a lava pit, a real lava pit in Hawaii, he is there with you. When you are wrestling 14 alligators, he's wrestling one right next to you. So
right. He's done the research. He's murdered actual genetically engineered piranhas for that scene. Totally.
You just think, I hate this guy, but he's here. It's not like he's not in Video Village. Does that make sense?
It does, absolutely, man.
All right, and so actually, Norbert, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
All right, so in the movie No Escape, which I'm going back to, is the only good part the scene where Ray Liotta spears that dude, and then he runs away.
Man, look, any movie that features Ray Liotta and Kevin Dillon, who always kind of looked like Kevin Bacon at the time, and Ernie Hudson, you would expect there to be far more interesting scenes than the spearing. But I mean, Ray Liotta spearing the guy is real.
There's been some great moments in cinema, but as far as trailer moments for movies like No Escape, that's in the top 5. Because when you see that trailer moment, when you're sitting there in the trailer, in the movie theater, and you see the trailer, and this big dude screams at Ray Liotta screams at him, and then just throws a sword into his chest. That's sold 90% of the audience to go see that film.
Well, now you figure that Ray Liotta was trying to break out of his character that he had been typecast as a mafia tough guy, So now he wants to try to be Chow Yun Fat, Jet Li, outer space dystopia prison dude. But I don't think it worked that well.
Except for that one scene.
Yeah, well. Anybody just throwing a spear through your chest is awesome. In Broad Trek, what I like to call Star Trek by J.J. Abrams. In Broad Trek, you got the guy who played the Hulk. He throws a spear through a guy's chest in one of the opening scenes, and just beep. It was great. It was a great scene. Anybody throwing just rah. It's a power thing.
Also in Troy, I'm not really a fan of that movie, but I like when the guy throws a spear in the beginning, and then Brad Pitt ducks it and stabs him. No,
That's right.
Yeah, the big dude. And then Brad Pitt just kind of does a little sidestep. I love a good spear throw. I'm not going to lie about it, Norbert.
There's an accuracy and there is an intent to kill, that you got to respect when somebody just hurls a spear at you, It's not like throwing a water balloon or a snowball, we're just kidding around, or you splash water. If I throw a spear at you, minimum, I'm trying to wound. Previously.
If you did that to me when we were in Korea and somehow you miraculously struck me in my shoulder, non-life threatening, I could pull it out, pull a Vin Diesel, forget about it. Literally just forget about it. And then you and I go to work and I put a Band-Aid on it. I would be mad at you because there's no accident to that. You're not like, oh, hey man, sorry I threw a spear at you.
Not at all. Not at all. And I would be mad because I didn't hit you in, say, the collarbone or the pancreas, where I was trying to actually get you.
You were aiming for my clavicle?
Clearly, man. Clearly. You want to just throw it and you want to catch somebody minimum somewhere around the duodenum.
Movies need more snap clavicles. Hey, do you think Ash could have snapped Parker's clavicle? Because he gave him like a chest twister.
Yes, it was a definite titty twister.
Yeah, but imagine if Ash grabbed onto his collarbone or clavicle and just went.
I'm gonna deflect that question real quick to pose the following question: how was he trying to choke Ripley with that magazine? And
That's never been done before in cinema or in reality, right? Could you actually choke somebody to death by sticking a rolled up magazine on their lips and pushing it down?
I think so. Right?
But you can still breathe through your nose, and your hands are free. And also, oh, by the way, you can turn around, you can roll over. You know, the titty twister is an effective move because you just grab that whole chest and you just squeeze. You know, you can do the Temple of Doom, Mortal Kombat Kano heart grip, but the porno magazine choke tactic, that has always broken the suspension of disbelief for me every time I watch that.
I thought he was just trying to put it in her mouth and then like smack it down so she kind of ate it. You know?
But it's a magazine.
Listen, man, Well, listen. So this movie took place in 2122. In 2087, gangs, weapons were outlawed. I don't know if you heard about this. Yeah, so in 2087, so then gangs are like, well, we can't just use our fists. We're not animals. By then magazines weren't being read anymore because everything was digital. So gangs took to the streets with rolled up magazines.
That's it. Okay, so you see people coming and just the threatening visage of a bunch of hooligans approaching you with rolled up copies of Boy's Life and This Modern Home. Yeah. Terrifying.
Let me ask you something, Norbert.
Go for it.
I wrap up a Time magazine, right? You're in the middle of class teaching. I run up and I just hit you right in the chin with it.
Okay.
It's gonna hurt.
Okay. But can I ask you a question though? Can I ask you a question?
Yes.
What if are there still are there still staples in there?
You know, perhaps a staple is protruding, or is it, if it's a freshly printed magazine, you know, the possibility of paper cuts? Because how was Ripley going to die? I don't get it.
Maybe he was just trying to. Androids aren't very good at. This is a very good question of yours. So in this world, there are aliens. There's black goo. There are androids on ships that are humanoids.
That's right.
How are there humanoid fight clubs? Maybe this guy had. So his fighting technique was terrible. He's given titty twisters. He's wrapping up magazines. So maybe he's just never fought before, and he got a little overloaded, and he just took what was near him. Like you know what I mean?
It could be, because like Burke Carter J said, you know, the Hyperdynes were always a bit twitchy. So maybe he was just being twitchy at the time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, no one taught him how to fight.
Not at all, man. His stated goal, you know, was to prioritize the organism. You know, all other priorities rescinded. So, you know, when you're looking at how the silicon-based life form replaces its shells with polarized silicon, making it one tough son of a bitch, you don't have time to figure out what's the proper way to choke someone to death with a rolled-up porno magazine.
Can I ask you a question?
I mean, you could. Can I ask you a question, though?
Yes.
Go ahead, ask me a question. Sure. Absolutely.
If you're ever bored, we just released an episode about the movie Street Fighter, 1994 Street Fighter. And
classic.
It just essentially became a podcast of Adam asking me a question and then me asking him a question. And it was fun because I wrote that article for Rotten Tomatoes, so I know everything about the behind the scenes. And then I asked him just for like hypothetical. So he was asking me for facts, and I was asking him to just kind of interpret it. It was fun.
But can I ask you? But let me ask you. Can I ask you a question though?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. What was the deal with Raul Julia? Actually, the real question I want to ask you was: is your favorite scene not when "Who wants to fight with me"? Because that gets me hype every time.
It was Tuesday. That moment. Because he says it. Raul Julia says that when he's holding 2 mixed drinks with orange garnishes and bison swizzle sticks inside of them.
Rest in peace, man. Rest in peace.
He owns that movie.
Now, he really does.
Norbert, if I gave you $10, would you drink some of that milk that was spewing from Ash?
No,
wait. If I gave you 300 space ducats, would you
drink
Ash's white milk brain?
I mean, but could I ask you a question though? I mean, let's talk about the bonus situation. You know, is that going to be in my contract somewhere in the bonus? You know, do I get enough as much Android milk as I possibly can handle?
That's an interesting. So, I would like to meet your union rep if that was in your contract.
Android milk.
Because one, it would have to say we don't think there's an android, but if there is an android, we're gonna drink him. Right?
I need unlimited android milk. I need futuristic pornography in magazine form only, of course.
Yeah, and so, yeah, I mean, I guess if it's in your contract, yes, but if not, I would dare you to drink the ash milk. I bet Luke Skywalker would love that.
Well, he drinks that blue milk that comes out of the those disturbing creatures.
Yeah, blue and green, the sea sow.
Yeah.
How long do you think it took him to get comfortable enough to milk that sea sow?
Oh, well, I mean, once you're responsible for the death of all the younglings, you don't have much farther to go, basically. Just down.
So what if he's talking about Special Order 24? What was Special Order 23?
Well, Special Order 937, I think it was. Preserve the alien. Preserve the alien. So maybe Special Order 936 was make sure that the alien is comfortable. Special Order 935. Does the alien have any dietary restrictions? Does he want kale? Does he have a gluten allergy?
I think space truckers. They had a lot of cereal on board.
A lot of cereal, man. You figure, you're in outer space and you wanted to bring filet mignon, but damn, in space, no one can hear you steam.
Or crunch. I would just, that would be my nightmare. You go to space and all the food is crunchy, so I just got to listen to people crunch food. And, I love Parker in the movie, but he just kept smacking gum. And I watched Ford vs. Ferrari the other day, and I loved that movie. But there's just scenes where Matt Damon's smacking gum and chewing food. And I'm like, why? You're hearing juices and smacks. Like, why would you put that on screen?
Well, it's because, a man's got to do something with his mouth on screen. That same idea that you got to be able to do something with your hands. Isn't there a massive supercut of Brad Pitt just constantly eating?
Yeah, and I figured out how many calories he's consumed.
How many did he get there?
I forget. But yeah, I actually did all the math and I figured out how many calories he consumed. So if you get bored, just go to moviesfilmsandflicks.com and look up Brad Pitt's eating. It'll change your life.
I will check that out because I believe that it was actually you that I got that from. Thank you, sir. You planted that meme in my head. Parker's always eating though because he's a big guy, man.
Yeah.
Parker's a big guy.
Do you think he likes Brett?
I do think that he and Brett actually get along on a visceral level because, they're the guys that they're basically the janitors. They're basically the Schneiders of, one day at a time, except on a spaceship. They know how to do everything. They know how to fix everything. And, they need to definitely get the shares and the bonus situation sorted out, man, because they're keeping the ship flying. The other people are just, pretty mofos, man. Oh, we're pilots. Look at us. Oh, I can read a navigational chart.
I love what they say. It's going to take 17 hours. It's going to take 24 hours or 25 hours.
Exactly. Yeah, 25 hours. Yeah.
I love that. That made me so happy.
Dude, they keep the ship running, man. You can't get all this ore if the ship don't fly, At the end of the day, you figure by this point in space travel, you press 3 buttons, the ship can take itself from point A to point B and land itself. But when the fuses blow, who are you going to call?
Now all right, Norbert, I'm going to ask you a question. Why?
Can you ask me a question?
Why is this movie... all right, so I looked up some scores for this film. And it has a 99% tomato meter score, 8.4 IMDb, 89% Metacritic, 4.3 Letterboxd out of 5, 4.7 on Amazon, and it's this number 6 on AFI's 100 Years, 100 Thrills. Why is this film not considered, but why is this film a classic?
It's the scariest monster in the history of film, number 1. Number 2, very simple story, easy to follow. Number 3, all movies look like this now because of that movie, The future, before that, the future looked all pretty and clean and nice. And Alien, it's like we're going to make a motion tracker device using an ice cube tray and a box.
Yeah. I was watching the Dead Meat the YouTube show. They do the alien kill count. And I was listening to it, and he's like, yeah, what did they have? It looks like they're about to, inflate some blow-up, air mask with that thing.
Yeah.
It looked like a little air machine.
Yeah. And then by the second movie, it's a Steadicam rig with a motorcycle handle for the smart gun.
Wow.
Everything
Everything looks kind of beat up and dirty. And so it's way more believable when this creature from outer space is just rampaging through the spaceship, man. And they can't do anything about
There's duct tape on the pilot's seat.
Yes. The whole thing looks like somebody slapped it together from a bad model kit.
You know,
it's
great.
great.
What's kind of funny is I don't know if there's a 2-hour making of documentary on YouTube. Really amazing behind the scenes footage. No hyperbole. I was fascinated. And on the documentary, you had Dan O'Bannon and Ronald Shusett talking about the film.
Mm-hmm.
And so they kind of came up with Alien. That sort of stuck. That's like the one thing that never changed. And they originally they didn't know how to get this creature on the ship. And so the one guy woke up one night and he's like, it impregnates another guy. And like just the idea of the very structure of this film. But I also love it that Walter Hill produced it, and he and his crew were saying that they did a lot of the rewrites. And then all these other people are saying they did the rewrites. So there's about 5 or 6 people saying, I wrote that scene. No, I wrote that scene. Wait, I definitely wrote that scene. It's a very interesting. It was interesting to listen to 6 people complain about who wrote what.
Well, I mean, look, all you need to know is 8 foot tall, acid for blood. Your flamethrower makes it angry.
Yes.
That's it.
I love that. And then you know how they cast Bolaji, the 7-foot guy who played the alien? He was just in a bar.
The Nigerian brother, yes, man. 7 feet tall. That's great.
They walked up to him like, hey, you want to be in the movies? And then he worked on the film for 10 months.
Hey, Bolaji, what are you doing tonight? I'm going to play an alien.
Tom Skerritt in the documentary was talking about how one day he was walking off the set with his head off. So someone was holding the alien head. He had bright blue tennis shoes on, and someone was holding his tail behind him. So it was 3 people, and they were arguing about politics. And Tom Skerritt just said, I wish I would have taken that picture. I wish I could have that.
Tom Skerritt's another one of those guys who was probably 30-something on that set and looks like he's 60 years old. The only people who look young on that whole ship are Sigourney Weaver and Veronica Cartwright. The rest of them just look like they've been drinking for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, just straight gin.
And I love what Roger Ebert had to say. He's Ellen Ripley was she was 30 when she made this movie, Sigourney Weaver. He said everybody in this film, they're not the current trend of just young, good-looking folk. This was a weathered space truckers type mission. And I really, that made a lot of sense to me, what Ebert said. And also, I like that Ebert said that this movie allows for time. It's not snap,
right.
snap, 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 snap. This movie it moves at a methodical pace. Listen, it's never dull. And I'm not saying saying methodically in a way to be as a diss. And I think that's why it works so well, is it allows areas to breathe. It allows us to get to kind of know the crew, give them enough to do. I also really like watching this again, Ripley's character, and my wife Megan really liked her as well, because there's no love interest. She doesn't, in the beginning, she's not taking crap from any of them. She's just,
that's right.
I like it. The character is written as a man. Ridley Scott's like, no, I want to cast Sigourney in this. And I know it gets old saying it's a woman doing that. I mean, I feel like that's more regressive than saying oh yeah, good for her. That seems regressive to me.
Well, it's a big deal for that time, exactly. Man. There were no women, just if you want to count Angie Dickinson in Big Bad Mama, the exploitation movie where she's naked for 40% of the picture.
Yeah, and then it's just such a new, even around that time, Sarah Connor in the first Terminator was just running around like a maniac. In this one, Ripley was just like, no, I'm not letting you guys back in. I'm not making that choice. And then she saves the cat, which led to a screenplay writing book. Then she turns on her flamethrower, and then battles the alien at the end. But I like it how it's not flashy. Yeah. It's such a cool matter-of-fact story. And I can't speak from this, but I bet people watching it in '79 felt it was very refreshing.
Dude, there were lines around the block for this movie. People went to see it 2 and 3 times, and showing it to my students, because I always feel like my Korean college students, there's a certain innocence to these kids that they still haven't. My students, there is a certain innocence to them. And so they watch this movie, and the gory part where it comes out of his chest, they freak out for that. But they were never bored.
the slow pacing, they really appreciate it because it ends up ratcheting the tension as the movie goes on. You know, all the hyper cuts that you end up seeing in the Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator 2, which are just awful movies. You really appreciate the slowness of Alien.
I feel like Koreans probably have just from my love of Korean cinema, it is very, it lets you breathe a little bit. The wailing, even Train to Busan takes a while to get going. You have I Saw the Devil, The Host, Thirst.
Mm-hmm.
I think maybe they're just used to that. That makes me happy that they appreciate that storytelling, because I'm afraid to show this to my students. I don't know if they'll start looking at their phones immediately.
I mean, the landing scene, do you know how long that landing scene was? When they're just, they get time for the music to come out, and the ship is very slowly turning to the left. If that was today, it'd be like, okay, we landed.
Yeah. Like Jerry Goldsmith's score is just booming.
Yeah. They give the only computer graphics that you see, you know, those terrible vector graphics. I'm centering the vector now. That was not necessary.
No. And
but it was beautiful.
I love that they had a forklift for that scene, and so they covered it up in black, and then they put the camera so that the camera couldn't see the thing being pulled out. So all that was just practical effects. Like, they built those on actual sound stages.
Well, this is my students when they were watching Alien and Aliens, and I'm telling them none of this is CGI, and they're just what? Because they're just stunned by it. You know, there's three guys running the Alien Queen, and you never see somebody's, you know, Calvin Klein jeans pop out. It's just a great movie.
Now, so I was thinking about this, and let's ignore Prometheus for the time being.
Oh yes, let's.
So they go into the fallen spaceship. So they're space truckers. They get woken up early because there's a distress signal. So they have to go check this distress signal out. And they find this crashed ship, and they go inside it. And the thing looks like a rib cage. I mean, you get the famous Giger space jockey, the famous Giger egg. You get all the really beautiful, twisted, beautiful designs. I just said beautiful, twisted, beautiful. Jeez Louise. So this space jockey, okay, ignore Prometheus.
Absolutely.
Does he know does he know he's transporting weapons, correct? She or she? It is transporting weapons.
Ignoring Prometheus, you get no vibe as to what the hell's going on there, other than this thing. You know, you don't even realize that it could be a helmet. You know, and the expanded universe in the comics, you know, that's the face of the thing, actually. It's not a helmet. That's just what it looks like. So the vibe you get the more you watch it before Prometheus and all of that was something went wrong. Something popped out of this thing's chest, man. You know, they make a point, you know, it looks like it's blown outward. It's just a dark place. It's just a dark place, and you never get the vibe that good things are coming at all. It looked brilliant.
It looked like they were being transported, and then those things are idiots. So then they crashed, and then So that guy had been fossilized. That thing had been fossilized. So those eggs, had they been laying there for thousands of years?
For all that time. And you assume that that's more of a medical table than it is the pilot seat.
Yeah.
You know? Because they call it they called it the space jockey, but it looks to you like it's a doctor thing or just a bed where the thing laid down to die. And those eggs have been there just the whole time, just chilling. That little light film where that never comes up again in any Alien stuff.
Yeah.
You know? So it's just really weird.
Inside of those eggs, it was Ridley Scott's hands doing like a little butterfly type motion.
That's great.
So I thought that was really kind of cool that they were doing that. But what was the thin layer of gas that was above those things? Did that keep them dormant?
None of this stuff ever comes up again, because when you get to the hive in Aliens, there is no gas. You know, there's just corpses everywhere. And the queen is kind of hung up by her womb on a wall. It's just crazy stuff that goes on, man.
Did you show your students the director's cut or the regular?
Oh, I showed my students the director's cut of Aliens. Much better.
Dallas squished on the wall?
The director's cut of Alien? No.
Oh, Alien.
Because
got it.
I showed my students the director's cut of Aliens. I showed them the theatrical cut of Alien.
Got it.
Because I didn't feel that the director's cut of Alien added too much. You know, you get the longer opening sequence of the camera going through the hallways, and then you get Veronica Cartwright just smacking fire out of Sigourney Weaver. That's a great scene.
Like, oh man, that was bad.
They should have kept that. Yeah. You left us out there.
I'd be pissed if I got hit and they cut that scene.
Dude. And the thing about Veronica Cartwright in the 70s, she was basically just paid to freak out in every movie. You're just, oh Jesus. You know, Body Snatchers.
Oh yeah.
Her goal is to freak out. Those huge eyes, just wet and terrified. I am freaked out. I'm Veronica Cartwright.
She won a Saturn Award for that performance. She did some good freaking out.
She freaks out in everything, man, and she's great. And then I think they put her in the X-Files, and she was freaking out in the X-Files too. You've got to shoot him now. Don't you understand? I'm Veronica Cartwright. Yeah. Yeah, she freaks out in everything.
I liked Tom Skerritt's decisions in this film. Especially, I liked how quiet he was. Dallas was... That's a decision that I thought was interesting. So on set, since this was Ridley's second major film after Duelist, he had done a lot of commercials and music videos beforehand. They said on set he was really bad with the actors. He would just basically say, this is what the scene is and this is where I'm shooting. So if they went to him for guidance, he gave them none. So I feel like the creation of what Skerritt did is this very soft-spoken captain. It's a very interesting decision. I don't know what you think about that.
It's because, you know, you and I, we've had job experience, you know, and you run into that boss that just, okay, so what do you want to do? You know? Hey, boss, I'm doing the following project. What do you think I should do? Yeah, sure, that's fine. Because that was Tom Skerritt's character, man. He just wants to fly the ship from point A to point B and not die. That's it. Everything else is irrelevant. He's not super control-y guy. He's cool with, Kane, you know, while he was still alive. He's cool with delegating responsibility and letting Kane talk stuff, you know. He doesn't give it... He lets them talk shit about the bonus situation for how long until he finally just says, okay, enough. You know?
Yeah.
We'll figure it out. We have to do
Remember, they're down in the cave and they're arguing back and forth, and he's like, enough. So, like, when they start acting like kids, that's when he steps in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Other than that, you know, he doesn't give a shit. He's like, yeah, okay, you know, we're all in outer space. We're truckers, you know. We're going to go, you know, go fly to space, and then when we get back, we're going to get laid. You know, that's good, man.
He gets it, too, that he understands, like, when the rules change, when they get a new order, he's like, whatever. Right. Like, that's a company. They pay me.
He's like, yeah, you do what the company tells you to do. Exactly. That's it, man. He's like, can I go home now? Jesus Christ. Are we done yet? That's it.
It is kind of annoying. So I was watching Alien Covenant, and I'd like to talk with you about that one day just to kind of get your thoughts. But watching this movie, I kind of make fun of scenes in Alien Covenant where they look directly into the egg. Or in Prometheus when they go up to the space snake and they're like, oh, you're adorable. But in this one, Hurt makes the same mistakes.
Yeah.
I know I'm saying Hurt. Like he has Kane. But
yeah, Kane.
Kane does the same thing. So it's pretty interesting how in what we call great films, you can ignore that. But what we would call decent films, we say that's stupid.
Okay, here's the thing. Kane's an explorer. Their goal is to actually go out and find out, you know, what the hell, where is the, who's sending the distress signal? And then he comes across the eggs naturally and the thing opens up and you're like, oh, okay, that's weird. Prometheus, the guy sees a dangerous looking snake and, oh, you're so cute. Yes, you're a cute girl. What the hell? What the? Hoffmeyer, I've seen people who see dogs on the side of the street that don't just run up. Oh, you're such a cute little puppy. That didn't make any sense, dude.
Yeah, that was bad.
It didn't make any sense. And then you mentioned who's the other guy? Oh, in Covenant.
when Michael Fassbender's like, hey, come here, Billy Crudup. I think it's Billy Crudup.
Yes, it
was.
Hey,
come look in this egg. What? Why? No, just come here. Come look in this egg.
And that's the thing, you know. He's surrounded by this room full of basically horror that Michael Fassbender's character has just been drawing basically disturbing fan art all over the wall. And then he tells you, hey, this is my latest creation. Oh, and it's actually alive. Why don't you stick your face in it? He's like, okay. Come on, man. the difference.
And then there's another scene in Alien Covenant where this guy's like, "Get away from me! I'm gonna go take a piss." And he walks about 50 yards by himself and pulls a Lost World. Lost World. Like Peter Stormare gets killed by compies. Now, before we go to break, I just have one more thing I want to bring up to you. And I have this in all caps several times through my notes. And my notes look like the scribblings of a madman, by the way. If someone got a hold of this notebook, they'd be worried for me. But just letting you know.
Clearly.
I wrote down knob turning and flicking switches. So I just had to write a couple articles about Star Wars for Rotten Tomatoes and Cracked. And watching the movies again, I just realized how much, and in this film, the amount of arbitrary knob turning and flicking of switches. People walk in rooms and they're just like click, 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 turn,
Yes.
turn, and then they look behind their back. They take their right arm, they put it behind their head, and they just start poking things. Like in the Millennium Falcon, there's random guys who have never been on the ship before turning knobs, and you're just like, why are you doing this? What is this switch? Why do you know these 7,000 switches? Did you notice that about Alien?
Look, man, sometimes you got to make sure that the interocitor is set up correctly for the 1.21 gigawatts, man. You can't get mad at stuff like that, brother. You just got to roll with it, Do you think that just anybody is allowed to just walk into the room of Mother without sticking the graphics card into the side of the wall after flicking the 17 switches to open that little slot? No, there are qualifications that come with being the ship's captain, my friend. Take that.
I think the directors, flick some switches. There's never flick that switch, then that switch, then that switch. They just go to the actor. Listen, you're the pilot. You flick any switches you want. So they go in. These actors have never flown a junker with 20 million tons of whatever they're hauling, and they just start flicking switches.
20 million tons of ore, man. There's a lot of switches to be flipped when you're hauling 20 million tons of ore.
You have to flip 74. Listen, if you're a spaceship, if you have to flip 74 switches to turn on your blinker, you're in trouble.
Have you ever seen the inside of a 747? There's a lot of switches, brother.
But they're not clicking them. They're not clicking them all. I watched Kurt Russell land a plane in executive decision. He didn't flick it. He flipped 3 switches.
He flicked 3 switches?
Yes. Kurt Russell does not need many switches.
How many switches did he flip, though?
3. And Halle Berry did about 4. And she was reading a manual. That's when you watch that movie and they're not it looks like they're changing the channel on a radio that has nothing good on. Remember back in the day when you're just turning the knobs looking for something?
Yeah.
Click, click, click. I don't know. So that's one. It's a nitpick. It's nothing big. But when you just watch a lot of these movies a lot, you just get very. Maybe if I hadn't done the rewatch recently of the Star Wars movies, I'm serious. The only guy who doesn't flick switches a lot. So when Vader's in a TIE fighter, he's turning a knob the entire time. I don't know what.
That's
but then you see the other guys flying TIE fighters, they never turn knobs.
Well, Vader was turning the knob so that he could increase the gain on the targeting for that one ship. All too easy. That he blew up. You know what I'm saying? But he's got the Force, dude. Just leave it alone. He's got the Force.
Wedge never flicks switches. So only time Wedge ever flicks a switch, he's like, we need to get out of here. He goes, boop, hits one switch. Or we're making the tunnel run. Right. Boop, puts a switch. That's good acting right there. It's not like, we got to make the tunnel run. Turn. 97.1, put on some Pearl Jam.
Listen. Hey, like Sigourney said, I'm enhancing the vector now. Switch, okay? She's enhancing the vector. When they're in Star Trek and they're just and if we increase the gain to the deflector shield 17 times, it's the opposite. It's what you do when you don't want to just technobabble. You flip switches. You understand? Instead of filling it in with technobabble and then the metaphor so that the audience understands, it's just flip, 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 flip. Okay, now we blew it up.
Too many switches. All right, so how about this? Now, let's take a break. I'm going to stop talking about switches, and when we come back, we'll talk more Alien. Welcome back to Movies, Films, and Flicks. Norbert, I got a surprise for you.
Oh, you want to ask me a question?
No, we're going to do a Sigourney Weaver draft. So We're going to each pick 5 movies. I have a number between 1 and 2. Which one is it?
I'm going to say 4.
Wait, what?
2.
All right, you got it. You get first pick. Which Sigourney Weaver picture are you going to pick?
Which Sigourney Weaver movie am I going to pick? It's got to be Aliens.
Oh, you're doing
Director's cut.
All right, so you're doing Aliens. I'll you know what? I'll add it in there. Aliens Director's cut.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna. Gosh, I could do a couple things here. I'm just gonna say I'm gonna lose because I have 2 options, but I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna say Alien.
Okay.
I know where you're going.
The next one, I'm going to go Galaxy Quest.
Whoa, nice. I guess I'll do Ghostbusters.
Fair enough. Dana Barrett. Okay. What was that movie? Let the river run. Working Girl.
Oh yeah.
She was dope in that movie. Working Girl.
Working Girl. I'm gonna do a weird one, and I'm gonna say Heartbreakers because I love that movie. That's a Ray Liotta jam right there.
Okay, I go Gorillas in the Mist.
Ooh.
Because she put the passion in there, and she really was in love with those great apes, man.
You felt like she was in the mist.
Totally, man.
All right, so Gorillas in the Mist. All right, so I got my pick. Oh goodness. Let's see. What do I want? Let's see. She's done a lot of good pictures.
Oh, she's brilliant, man. She's wonderful.
All right, so I'm going through here. Oh goodness. Oh wow, she was a voice. She's been in so many movies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
All right, I gotta get one in quick here though. Let's see. I'm on IMDb right now trying to find something good here.
Dude, I am telling you, man.
So many good pictures.
Gorillas in the Mist, Galaxy Quest, Aliens, Director's Cut.
She was in Annie Hall.
You got Ghostbusters, Annie Hall, yeah. She's the voice of the ship in WALL-E.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. You know what?
Hey,
I'm gonna do Cabin in the Woods.
I'm gonna counter that with Copycat.
Copy that.
Because Copycat is a movie that I find myself watching 3-4 times a year, man. It was great. It's got Harry Connick Jr., a man who I just don't understand, but he's a great actor.
Holly Hunt.
But I don't understand. And Holly Hunter, yeah. Yeah.
All right.
It's great, man.
I have one more movie left. One left. I gotta make this smart.
Okay.
I gotta make this good here. You know what? I'm gonna go crazy. I'm living on the edge, my friend. I'm gonna do The Village.
I love that movie.
Me too.
I don't care what anyone says. I love that movie.
People are like, you know what annoys me? People went and watch that movie and they're like, this movie sucks. But I'm like, have you not watched a M. Night Shyamalan movie before? It's so it annoys me. Like, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie. Like what are you like? It's exactly what it was. Like, and then people are like, the marketing was to blame. No, it's an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
Dude, the monster freaked me out. The first, I'll tell you right now, the first time I saw that movie, number 1, monster freaked me out. Number 2, the whole time in the back of my head, what the hell's going on in this town, actually? And then number 3, the twist, I was, holy shit, this actually is an awesome movie. I love it.
Joaquin Phoenix,
I love the twist.
Bryce Howard, Adrian Brody, Sigourney.
The acting is good. The pacing is good. The ending makes sense. You know, the reasons behind why they made this town made sense to me. You know, oh yeah, the world sucks, dude. Yeah, we would rather live like this. I get it. I'm sorry, I get that, man.
Yeah.
Horrible trauma makes you do weird things, and that is it's a great movie. I disagree with the planet on this one.
Can I tell you something random?
As long as you ask me a question,
so
sure.
Going into this movie, Ridley Scott had about 6 pages of backstory for each character, but he never shared those backstories with the actors.
You look at Harry Dean Stanton and imagine Ridley Scott. So, Harry, what I've got is his backstory about, and he's just, right, and just walks out the room. He doesn't give a shit. He's like, I'm Harry Dean Stanton, fool. You better back up off me.
Another fun fact for you is that during this film, Ridley Scott just kept building sets. And there was a producer who was running around trying to find the new sets and telling them to stop. Because this movie went over budget. So it only had $11 million at the time, which is not much. And even accounting for inflation, let's say 30 maybe now, roundabouts. So that's not much of a budget. But he just kept trying to build new things. And a tired producer who had no more money was running around, stop.
Well, he's got to. I mean, Ridley, you get that chance to direct. This is, you said, his second movie. He doesn't know if there's going to be a third. Yeah. He's just like, I'm going all in, man. You got to shoot your shot, brother. Shoot your shot.
I love that fact. And also another cool thing is, I have it right here. Where's it at? I had a good thing for you. Oh, so the original concept drawings of the facehuggers. The facehuggers were gigantic. Giger. I've always called him Geiger, and I'm very happy now that I know it's Giger.
Is it? I've always said Geiger as well.
So on the documentary, everyone's calling him Giger, and I'm like, oh, crap. And also, Karen Kusama, she's done Invitation, Jennifer's Body, some movies I really like. I called her Karen for a long time, but I just found out it was Karen. So that was...
It's Karen and Giger.
Kind of a bummer. But he, during his initial drawings, he had these massive facehuggers. And these facehuggers... what they attached themselves to were the original drawings for the engineers.
Oh, wow.
So if you look up original concept art for the facehuggers, you will see it attaching itself to an engineer from Prometheus.
Wow, dude.
Kind of made
that same giant thing from the end of Prometheus.
Yeah, and it made me kind of like Prometheus more. Yeah. If that makes sense. It just that.
The fact that they managed to get something actually from the original universe. I see what you're saying. Sure, that'll work.
I dug that. I actually really kind of appreciated that aspect of it. So in this move, go for it.
I was gonna say I have the Alien quadrilogy, the 9-disc box set on DVD, and I dove into a lot of that stuff too. What always freaks me out about Giger is just how much he was just into the whole ambulatory penis aspect of the cover. The fact that the phrase ambulatory penis is something that I learned from Giger, and when you look at it, it's a creepy thing, man. It's a creepy thing. And in the second movie, when it's going across the floor, your skin crawls, man.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
It's a creepy looking facehugger. And inside of it, when they were doing the autopsy, my wife Megan, she's like, those are oysters. And then she researched it. Those are oysters inside of the facehugger.
They are actually oysters.
Isn't that like they're actual oysters?
Because it looked pretty delicious to me, I'm not going to lie.
I thought it was pretty funny because she's just like, yeah, no, those are definitely oysters. And then also, I don't know why, but we were wondering about sleep, cryo sleep. And we started researching that. And, people kind of make fun of that, like, oh, how do they figure that out? But then we kind of look back to the old fables with, Sleeping Beauty, having eternal sleep. And then there's a short story in 1931 about people that could be like frozen in space for long journeys. Mm-hmm. And then in 1948, a book came out called The Penultimate Trump, which further expanded upon that idea. And then you had kind of 2001 Space Odyssey come out and kind of clean that up. So we were researching some weird stuff about this movie.
You did. You definitely fell down some weird rabbit holes with that, man. I dig that.
I don't know. You know me, man. Like, this movie's been... I was really... That's why I'm happy I had you on for this, because this movie, you can talk about the same aspects that everyone else has talked about. So, like, if I get Norbert on, we're going to talk about some weird things.
We're going down the weird holes, man. Absolutely, They mostly come out at night. Mostly. Oh, that little girl. That little girl, creepy as hell. I've always drawn a parallel. There's a movie, 1954, Them.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, the parallels between them and aliens are incredible. The movie starts out, hey, police, what the hell's going on? Something crazy happened in this town. The cops approach. What do they see? A zoned out little girl. She's freaked. The little girl's the only survivor of the town. What killed these people? What happened? The little girl knows. They wave the thing under her nose, the smell of Formica. Them! That's totally nude, man. That's totally nude. I would love to ask James Cameron if he saw Them and just rip that off.
No, I mean, he came up with Corman, and Corman didn't do Them, but Cameron had watched Them.
Totally, man. Totally. It's the same concept, man. They end up on that trailer park. The trailer park is trashed. They're like, what the hell could do this? There's no people. It's quiet. It was dope, man.
Right.
Love that movie.
I want you to rank the kills in this movie now. So we have Dallas, we have Lambert, we have Brett, we have Kane, we have Ash, we have Parker, and then we have the alien. So you have a total, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 kills to rank.
Okay. Starting from first or last? Which way you want to go?
Let's go last.
Okay. All right. So number 8 kills, right?
So we have Dallas, Lambert, Brett, Kane, Ash, Parker, and the aliens. So 7.
Okay. The last kill in Alien is Dallas, because it was just the alien, just ha, and
a hug. It was essentially an alien hug.
That's right. Just ha. Look to your left, buddy. So that's the last one. The next one is gonna be Ash, because he's just the creepy head. And I can't lie to you about your chances, but you do have my sympathies. That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
It didn't help that they were drinking the milk from him when he was dying.
No. Ash is a goddamn robot and just milk. Yeah, weird sound effects. Next one after that is going to be Veronica Cartwright, unfortunately, Lambert, because we don't actually get to see her die, and it's creepy that it's just whoa.
That's a super suggestive death. The tail going up, like up her leg.
Oh yeah, that's Giger there. That's yes. And then we have the tail, and the tail will climb up her ever so gently in between her legs. Yes, can you sense it? Just okay. All right, Weinstein, we got you. Get out of here.
You need to watch the Giger documentary. I don't know if you've done it yet, but his narration is just so beautiful. The crew is working very hard today. They are experts at what they do. Right? It's amazing. Giger's Alien. All right, so you got Dallas, Ash, Lambert.
Okay. Next is gonna be Parker. Yeah. Because Parker just takes it badly, man. And get out of the room. He actually gives her the warning, get out of the room. And it's just, oh God. And then just, it gets him. You actually see it get him. And so, anyway, haunting. All right, so who do we got left?
You have the alien, you have Kane, and you have, you have Alien, and then you've covered Ash, right?
Yeah, we got
Okay,
Ash.
so you have Kane, Dallas. No, wait. Is there only 6?
We already did Dallas.
Okay, so you've done Dallas, Ash, Lambert, Parker. Oh, no. Okay, yeah, you still have 3. You have Brett, you have Kane, and you have the alien.
Okay, so then it's got to be the alien, because the alien doesn't actually die. He just gets the cool water from the exhaust. The alien, and then after that is Brett, because Brett just gets the peekaboo. And then the last one is Kane, because that might be one of the most iconic movie deaths ever, if not the number one. There's nothing that has ever been like that before, man.
Never.
And my students just, what the hell just happened, teacher? I said, yeah.
I mean, 79. Yeah. I mean, there have definitely been, the late 60s, and there have definitely been exploitation flicks. There have definitely been really bloody, kind of crazy Sam Peckinpah type violence, but no one had witnessed that.
No, that was gruesome. It has the anachronistic put a spoon in his mouth because he's having a seizure thing, which I always love. Get the spoon in his mouth. I'm trying to put the spoon in his mouth. Dude, his chest is growing. What the hell? So he doesn't bite his tongue off? No, man. Oh my God. It's disturbing. And Veronica Cartwright freaks out, passes out.
I love how the chest burster just starts singing, "Hello, my honey. Hello, my darling. Hello, my..." Oh, God. Isn't that what he sings in Spaceballs?
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. If you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me. And me, being a massive fan of Aliens, even though, it's Spaceballs, haha, funny, I always think to myself, man, those people in the diner are going to die in like a day. Like, that everyone's going to be dead.
It's perfect.
That's all I could think of.
That happens in a diner, because space truckers at a diner.
Exactly. Yeah. And kudos to, I was about to say Mel Gibson, to Mel Brooks. Kudos to Mel Brooks for finding the people that look just like them. That was great.
Not again.
Yeah. And they actually got Hurt to be in the movie.
Do you want to hear something interesting about John Hurt? I worked on a picture with him called Jay Mansfield's Car. And
nice.
So this was early, and I think this is maybe 2011. This is when I was just kind of figuring out all right, I was getting established in the industry. I was taking a lot of really good commercial gigs, and I got a call from a casting agency. They liked me when I was an extra, and they're like, "Hey, we got a job. It's like 23 days. That's it. But it's a Billy Bob Thornton movie. He's directing it, and in this movie is going to be John Hurt, Robert Duvall, Ray Stevenson, Kevin Bacon, Francis O'Connor, really stacked cast."
Yeah,
and so
seriously,
they're like, "Do you want to be a stand-in for Ray Stevenson?" So I said, "Sure." Like I would love that. And I actually lost money working on it, but you're on the set with these amazing actors, and you get to be there, listen to everything. But so what happened was they didn't really want to bring in new people. So I was a stand-in for Ray Stevenson, who's 6'3", my height. And then sometimes one time I had to stand in for John Hurt, and he was about 5'9", incredibly friendly man.
Yeah, it's not a big dude.
And stand-ins on set, you just kind of shut up and you watch. You're not really talking to people unless they talk to you, But he was always real pleasant. But I had to stand in for him one time, and I gotta tell you, man, I got my quads, my calves, my hamstrings just from bending to be that height.
Yeah.
It was, but no, I've stood in for John Hurt, man. It's kind of cool.
That is kind of cool, man. Winston from 1984, the cage with the rats on his face. That was.
I just, I don't know. It was a friendly fella. It was so hot out. That's all I remember. But I had to, so at first I was kind of squatting, but then I just put my legs out as far as I could to shrink down. I learned that from a crafty stand-in.
And what happened in that scene, man? Did you have to witness carnage that day?
They were looking inside of Jay Mansfield's car. Yeah,
nice.
So I think it was him. It was Robert. I think it was him, Robert Duvall, and one of the kids from True Blood. And
I'm gonna look out for that scene.
Yeah, and so, but that whole film, man, just standing in and but it's cool. I was just around all those people, Billy Bob's like, "Hey, Mark, go hit your mark." And you're like, "Oh man." But it was a super cool experience, and it's called Jay Mansfield's Car, and the movie has some wonderful scenes, and I really think it's worth hunting out. It didn't get a big distribution, but I love the movie. But yeah, so I went totally off guard, but I loved that whole thing. Now,
enjoy yourself.
Why? Okay, people lately, I've been hearing people make fun of self-destruct mechanisms.
Yes.
What are your thoughts?
Lost in Space season 2.
What are your thoughts on self-destruct mechanism? Oh, didn't they say that? They're like, why would we put a self-destruct mechanism on our...
She specifically said that. Why would you want to blow up your own ship? It's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Norbert,
yes.
Quick question.
You want to ask me a question?
You're
Sure.
in that world, and you have to deal with that family. Would you like them?
I mean, just the most know-it-all people. Every time I suggest something, I would like to go out tonight and have sushi. Well, actually, sushi is made from animals that were farmed to extinction by... Shut the hell up! It's why Penny is the best one, man, because she doesn't know anything. Yeah. She just wants to just go and just have fun. And the rest of them are just know-it-all bastards. It's like Fraser Crane was just given the captaincy of a ship. You would activate the self-destruct. Yes, that's why you need
I want Parker Posey on screen. If I want more Parker Posey, I want more Penny. And then I like that they just brought in that one dude who worked with the alien, that robot.
Yes.
That guy took a major role this season.
Yeah. And he was cool.
He's in Turn Up Charlie with Idris Elba on Netflix. We like that show. But no, man, I would hate to.
But you gotta have a self-destruct, bro. You got to.
There's a lot. I like this one though because it's not one button. She had to do a lot of work for that self-destruct.
Oh man, the effort amount. You gotta turn the cooling system off, man. Now, why would you need a self-destruct? Well, for example, the Cassandra Crossing. That's a classic movie, and that's a movie where a bacteria breaks out, and now this train is just carrying disease across Europe, right? If they had a self-destruct, they wouldn't have to worry about, trying to clear off the tracks and whatnot. They could just blow up the train. Virus gone. Bacteria gone. It's important. It's important, man.
And, I mean, she blows it up. That's a massive explosion.
Oh, yeah. It blows up 3 times. It blows up 3 times.
Wait, is it over yet? Wait, no, there's another one. Wait, there's another one? So, Did that alien want to kill her, or did it just want to stow away?
Column A, column B, man.
Is it that smart?
The average alien, you figure, is about the intelligence of a dog. The queen is people smart. The queen is people smart, and it's great because that thread runs through the first two movies anyway. You know, we get to the madness that is 3 and just number 4, which made me not. I almost didn't go watch the Avengers when I saw that Joss Whedon made it because I was like, Alien Resurrection was terrible.
Well, we're covering the 4, aren't we?
Yeah, we could, but I'd rather. I like to just act, you know that Simpsons episode, and then Poochie went to his home planet. The end. Like that's how I like to look at the series: Alien, aliens, and then Poochie lives. Yeah.
But and anything else you want to touch on? We've left out. I have notes for days here, but is there anything in the behind the scenes footage that you liked that you thought was cool? Anything else you want to talk about?
Dude, pretty much I have always just been of the mind that if after the second movie they just followed what Dark Horse Comics did, because John Verheiden, that guy, he's written a ton of movies that have gotten turned into Mark Verheiden. He's written a bunch of movies that have got a bunch of things that have gotten turned into movies. And what they did in the comics was incredible. It was incredible. Hicks lives, Newt lives. They eventually end up with Ripley. The aliens take over Earth. It would have been great.
Oh, wow.
It would have been great. Instead, we get the depressing Alien 3. With a good turn, though. Charles S. Dutton.
Did you notice Charles S. Dutton he gets killed a lot in movies for sacrificing himself? Demon Knight.
He's a good
Legion.
guy.
This Alien 3. It's like, come on, Dutton.
That's right. Because he's a really nice guy, and he's always like, I will give my life for you because I'm Charles S. Dutton.
This movie has the black goo that is made famous in Prometheus and Alien Covenant.
Alien 3? Alien 3 has the black goo?
No, Alien, this one. I jump all over the place, man. But so, dude, I didn't remember the goo until I watched it again recently. Did you ever wonder about that stuff?
I did not. I've seen Alien dozens of times. Where was the goo in Alien?
It's on the egg.
The black goo is on the egg in Alien.
There's a ton of black goo in that ship. Do you know when people complain about how the alien got so big? And Ash calls it the perfect specimen. Now, to get that big for the amount of and it was what it is excretes in the director's cut, I kind of take that as that there's some form of genetic goo allowing give a super protein.
Huh. I just feel I just assume that, it's just got an incredible metabolism. It can survive in outer space, for Christ's sake, man. We don't know what that thing is all about. Yeah. It's got acid for blood. Like, what kind of metabolism do you have to have acid for blood? Sansong Pi, my students taught me in Korean. Sansong Pi, Sansong Pi. They played Aliens, the arcade game from 1990, and they finished it. I threw it up on my Instagram. They loved it.
Oh, that's cool.
They loved it. Yeah. They threw the queen out into space, man. It was awesome.
How much goo did that thing is it just gooing stuff on the wall?
It's you think that the aliens, they act like an ant farm or a beehive, man. So they excrete crap through their mandibles to stick stuff up on walls like that.
Wow. All right.
Wow.
I mean, it makes sense. It checks out. Like spiders have a lot of webbing.
Comes out of their butt. If Spider-Man was real, he would be squirting things out of his butt, not his fingers.
No. Norbert, I want you to do something. I want you to rank Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, Alien Resurrection, Alien vs. Predator, Alien vs. Predator Requiem, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant. I want you to rank them all.
Okay. Alien and Aliens, they're 1 and 2. And you can interchange. You can switch them up depending on the day of the week.
It feels evil to put Aliens ahead of Alien, doesn't it? Or not evil.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the thing. They're two different movies. Yeah. It's not the same. This is not the same genre at all. The action thriller genre basically is invented by Aliens. Alien is just a horror movie, sci-fi horror. So that's why, if it's Monday, Alien, then Aliens. If it's Tuesday, Aliens, and then Alien. And then, the rest of them just,
You got it. You
for
got to do it.
God's sake. I mean, I guess Alien 3, the director's cut, that's on the Alien quadrilogy box set, because that is a watchable movie, and it gives the prisoners some actual time to shine. You get more backstory with Charles S. Dutton. The alien's born out of a whole other creature. Alien Resurrection is going to be last, period, point blank. After that one, after Alien 3 director's cut, then I'd say let's go Covenant, Prometheus, Alien vs. Predator 1, Alien vs. Predator 1, Alien vs. Predator 2, and then, Resurrection last.
I do like in Alien 3 when the alien reaches down from the ceiling, grabs that dude by the head, and just pulls him up into the ducts.
That is, dude, when you play Alien Isolation, that is a straight up death. You find yourself running down the hallway and then just snatch. Oh my God. It's the scariest thing ever, that game.
I love that. I love that moment.
Great.
All right.
My recommendation to you, brother, I know you're not a super gamer guy. Get Alien Isolation, put some headphones on, turn off the lights, and just be prepared to wet yourself in a video game.
Sounds great.
Awesome. It's awesome. Yes.
I mean, I think we've covered everything here, right? I mean, we haven't covered everything because there's a lot, but this was fun, man. Thanks for recommending this. And I got to tell you, I had watched this movie a lot. I knew Alien, but I hadn't dove into the documentaries or the Giger documentaries or the creation of it or knowing about the oysters or any of that. And I just think it's, this movie just does not, it ages it ages very well. The practical effects, it's beautiful.
Yeah, the first two movies are two of the greatest movies ever made, period, point blank. Aliens set the standard for what action movies look like, for how characters talk in movies, for how you regard creatures, behavior. The director's cut with the way that they put the guns, the turret sentries in the hallway, the tension ratcheted up, just brilliant.
Are we talking about that next?
We can.
All right, that sounds good. But no, thanks for joining me, man. This was a lot of fun.
All right, brother. Enjoy yourself.
So for me, Mark Hoffmeyer, and for Norbert, Needs More Wages, Morvan, this is Movies, Films, and Flicks. We'll see you next week. Don't flick any switches. We'll see you later. Bye.